The AI invasion is here. But the question is, what are you going to do as a smart entrepreneur to best leverage it so that you can take your side hustle to startup levels of success? Because look, you're working a job or maybe two because you've got to pay the bills. But on the side, you're a business. You've got a business as an entrepreneur, as a creator. You want to take your side hustle to startup levels of success, don't you? Well, you're in the right place. That's what I did as an entrepreneur over 25 years ago. And I've been a coach for the last 10 of those 25 years. And that's what I want to help you to do too. I want you to go from a side hustle to a startup yourself. So, hi, this is Stacey Storino, and welcome to the Side Hustle to Startup podcast. I've been an attorney since 1998, an entrepreneur for 25 years, and a business coach for the last 10 of those years. Like I said, my goal is to help you go from tiny to mighty so that you can leave that long day job behind or the gaggle of gig jobs aside so you can focus on your own business full time if that's what you want. If you've got 45 seconds and you want a free and useful tip guide to help you make sure that your entrepreneurial journey is kicked off right, you'll want to pick up my tip guide full of snackable sized tips that will help you at don'tbeafakeguru.com. It's all one word, the website where you can get that freebie, don'tbeafakeguru.com. And with it, you'll know once you go through those steps that your brand presence for your business is a successful one to others checking you out for the first time from the outside looking in. Whether you're looking to be a guru or a coach per se or not, if you've got a brand, you're a brand leader. So you're a guru in a sense, my friend. Embrace it and do it right with my guide. Anyway, I created the Side Hustle to Startup podcast to give you simple, easy, actionable steps so that you can go from a crazy busy life personally and or professionally where your business is maybe right now nothing but a side hustle to helping you grow it in a realistic way to reach startup levels kind of success. Each podcast covers a quick point about what's going on in the world today and how it relates to you as an entrepreneur, why that point matters to you as an entrepreneur, and what to do about it. And we'll also cover a tip in terms of in every podcast, in terms of entrepreneurial financial offense and financial defense too, for you to double down on so that you can continue to grow your business from a side hustle kind of level to a startup level type of success. You're in the right place. So today I want to talk about AI or artificial intelligence. If you're living under a rock, unless you've been living under a rock, you know that AI or artificial intelligence is here. You've likely heard of ChatGPT. We're at ChatGPT 4.0. As I'm recording this podcast episode live, you can still get into ChatGPT for free. But they do already have a paid version that more and more people are electing to get into because you're on a smaller set of servers, you get faster customer service, you're locked out of ChatGPT less and less. At some point, they're going to go to a completely paid model. Just like they did with DALL-E, which, is the AI art generator for several months. The same company that did DALL-E is doing ChatGPT for several months. It was free, it was in beta, then they had the paid plan, and then it was nothing but the paid plan. So if for some reason you keep kicking the can down the road to go try out ChatGPT, now is the time to do it before you absolutely have to pay. It's always good to try before you buy. It's not like I'm going to be dropping an affiliate link to you or anything, but I'm encouraging you to go play with it. Or if you played with it and then you let it sit around for weeks, go back and really get used to it, because there's so much good that it can do for you right now instead of fixating on how many jobs it's going to go chop in the next 5 to 10 years. Not going to happen in the next 1 to 2 years, how many jobs it might replace how many humans something like ChatGPT might displace, I'd be thinking about what ChatGPT and other forms of AI or artificial intelligence can do for you as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, just to help you with marketing and selling in the background, even customer service in the background. And, in the foreground, depending upon what you're selling or who you're selling it to, weaving in more AI, even if it's not specifically ChatGPT, can make a lot of sense. Don't believe me? Well, trending on Google Trends right now is a company that came out with an AI babysitter for someone's dog. And in fact, they have a version that they're testing out in beta for cats, and they're going to roll that out too. So this is how prevalent and pervasive something like AI in general is already, whether you're an entrepreneur or not, whether you're a consumer, a seller, or both. There's a new smart device called Companion that bills itself as an all-in-one nanny slash tutor for your dog, stimulating and entertaining Fido while you work. Oh my goodness. So the humanization of dogs continues. Americans love to spend money on their dogs, their cats, their pets, especially in a post-pandemic world. They're even more fur babies than any other time before. And you can say we're in a recession or not. You can like where the economy is going, American, global or not, but people are still happily spending a lot of money on their pets right now in this snapshot of time. The demand for Companion is so big, they're taking reservations for its $49 a month device, which is going to start shipping out in May 2024. And this device does all sorts of stuff IRL or in real life, like dispensing treats. And it can do things IRL and digitally, like monitoring your dog's health, training it, obedience training. I mean, my goodness. So if for any crazy reason you were thinking, oh, ChatGPT's here, but I don't really have to pay attention to it. I don't really have to sweat right now in this snapshot of time, artificial intelligence. I'm telling you, you really should, because on the consumer end, let alone on the entrepreneurial slash business owner end, it's already every week, every month becoming more and more of a thing. The main gist of this podcast is you can't keep kicking the can down the road. And instead of being afraid of it and avoiding it, I'm asking you to go play with it, especially while you can still play with the free version of ChatGPT and other things like it. Canva has a version of AI now. If you're using flick.tech, you can see in the show notes down below what that is and how it'll benefit you with optimizing your content so it shows up in search and suggested more and more. I love it. So if you're listening to this audio only podcast, go to the Stacey Storino YouTube channel, Stacey with an EY, Storino, Storino, and check out any of my videos. There's a link to flick.tech and you can get a free trial of it to test drive it out and see how really powerful it is. But even flick.tech has an AI version in it to help you with optimization, to help you with content creation. Same thing with Canva slash Canva Pro. Same thing. So many different types of software solutions are already rapidly weaving in AI or artificial intelligence into things you're already buying and or paying for every month. So again, like, you cannot afford to hide from it. So if you're playing around with things like ChatGPT, great, get serious about weaving it into your marketing and sales copy creation, your email copy creation, post copy creation. It will suggest all sorts of keywords, long tail, short tail keywords for you. ChatGPT and other AIs like it. It'll suggest hashtags. It will suggest subject lines for emails. It will suggest copy for sales funnels, product listing pages, all sorts of marketing and sales language. It is amazing. It will all but write your emails and your blog posts and your YouTube scripts for you. You can't afford to not leverage it and really take it to the max. Because my goodness, if it's already showing up in everyday land to go train your dogs and make sure they get fed, you can't afford. And they're rolling it out for cats companion as well. For goodness sakes, you just can't afford to ignore ChatGPT any longer. I have students that are in their 20s, 30s, 40s. I also have students that are in their 50s, 60s, and 70s. And I'm telling you, I know, kind of playing off companion, people feel like you can't teach an old dog new tricks. I think you totally should be teaching yourself new tricks right now. You want to evolve, or unfortunately, at some point, maybe not sooner, but not too terribly much later, your business could perish. You could fall behind other competitors who are putting out more content more often that has copy generated by something like ChatGPT, that you need to put your own twist and branded feel and spin on it. You don't just want to use things like ChatGPT or other competitor AIs wholesale. You've got like what, Bard by Google. That's something else that you could use AI wise. um, but these AIs will help you to create, produce, optimize, and make it so much easier for you to publish content on the daily on at least the top two social media platforms that are most important for your niche. And now you can send out an email daily to near daily because they'll practically write the emails for you. There's just no reason why you would be ignoring AI at this point. It is just becoming so pervasive. You just can't ignore it anymore. Definitely play around with ChatGPT, with Bard, with, if you've got access to Canva or tools like Flick, go play around with their versions of AI and really make it a priority to play with these AIs, to use them at least an hour a week to train up on these things. YouTube has a bunch of step-by-step, click-by-click tutorials for you for free to use things like ChatGPT or its competitor AIs to create content to market and sell on behalf of your business. It's just way too easy to do. And I would say that even once ChatGPT becomes a paid for monthly service only, it's going to increasingly become something that you just don't want to live without as an entrepreneur. And especially if you're solopreneur, you can't afford right now an independent contractor or a part-time to full-time employee. Again, leveraging something like ChatGPT to create, or any of its competitors that I've mentioned, to help to create emails and posts and subject lines and sales copy. It's just too critical. It will help save you a lot of time, and then you're not all by yourself wearing all the hats trying to do all the things, because it's like you've got someone on your team, but instead of it being a human, it's artificial intelligence. This is definitely the wave of the future. It's a bell that can't be unrung, but that's okay. Instead of worrying about what it's going to do 10 years from now, I want you to learn it, to become comfortable with it, and to weave it into your marketing and sales techniques now, while it's free, or even once it's all paid versions. It's at least affordable. So this episode's time sensitive entrepreneurial point is, it's fall in line or get left behind. You want to evolve so that you and your business and your business model doesn't perish. I'm asking you to lean into artificial intelligence a whole lot harder than maybe you already are. If you've been avoiding it, jump on in, start using it. If you played around with it, you kind of let it sit around and collect digital dust in the background on you, get back in the game, okay? This episode's entrepreneurial financial offense tip is, certainly I want you to play with any of the AI that you can get access to for free. So in this snapshot of time, you still can create an account, log in, and use ChatGPT for free. But at some point, financial offense wise, you're probably going to, just like with the DALL-E app, it's going to become pay to play only. So I'm telling you, if it upsets you to, for example, conceptually pay $42 a month, let's say, to use ChatGPT, the professional or pro version of it, Think about how much more it would cost you as a solopreneur, as a small business owner, to pay somebody to work for you for like 3, 4 hours at minimum wage. If you're in New York State, you might get 3 hours of work out of a human being before you've hit 42, 45 bucks or more. ChatGPT is, even paying $42 a month for it, you have access to it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that entire month that you end up paying once it's paid only, especially $42 a month. I don't want you to be afraid, even if you're a new entrepreneur, you're a solopreneur, you're a small business owner. I don't want you to be afraid conceptually of investing in your business that way. And this isn't sponsored by ChatGPT. I'm not putting down affiliate links for this sort of thing. I am just trying to give you advice as an experienced, older, wiser entrepreneur. I have evolved all these years and I haven't perished. My clients, whether they're in their 20s, 30s to 60s and 70s, when they evolve, they try new things, they use it so much they're bored with it, and they just apply, and they become implementation beasts. It's great when it's free, but when you pay for it, it's still very cost effective. Yes, even for a new entrepreneur, a solopreneur, or a small business owner. But never fear, this episode's entrepreneurial financial defense tip is, once you start paying for things like ChatGPT Pro, or once they get to the point that they are basically requiring all users to pay in order to play, that's okay. Remember to speak to your tax professional, whom I am not. This is just issue spotting. It's not tax advice, but speak to your tax professional, because in all likelihood, for example, $42 a month that you would pay for ChatGPT, you should be able to write off against your income. It should be a business write-off. So you can recapture, ideally, that $42 that you spend in the example of ChatGPT Pro. You should be able to recapture that against any income that you're creating. And if you're a new business, and you're, just getting into profitability, those write-offs can help you get a good return on your business, perhaps in year one. But again, you would want to take these expenses to your tax professional, whom I am not, and say, help me write this off against income. Help me, get up a bookkeeping system so I can recapture every last expense that I put out on behalf of my business. In this case, including but not limited to ChatGPT, or if you use a paid version of Flick.tech, like I talked about, or you go from Canva, the free version, to Canva Pro. Quite frankly, this applies no matter what paid tools you're using. Whether you're a creative and you're like, oh, finances aren't for me, or you're a entrepreneur going into entrepreneur stage and you're like, oh, I got to deal with all these expenses and write-offs, totally worth it, and is totally going to be pennies on the dollar the more you leverage AI with every passing week to help you with all of your marketing and sales efforts. So make sure you pick up your free guide of mine at, again, don'tbeafakeguru.com, all one word. And yes, we're at the end of the podcast, but listen, all this talk, especially about AI for the wise entrepreneur and the financial offense and defense related to it, once you start spending money, it's made me real curious to see what you think about what we've covered today. For real, I do want you to comment down below if you're watching the video podcast version of this episode. If not, please navigate over to the Stacey Storino channel on YouTube, Stacey with an EY, STORINO, and make sure you subscribe and click on that bell notification, select all, because you can not only get your questions and comments to me on my videos and my podcast episodes, on YouTube. That's the best way to get in touch with me. If you want answers to your questions, if you want your comments read, right? And plus, I've got plenty of long form video YouTube trainings that can help you as an entrepreneur, especially when it comes to content marketing for conversions. And I have plenty of snackable bite good advice for you in the form of YouTube shorts as well. I always do want to hear from you. So YouTube's the best place to reach out to me, the first time out. So let's chat, and I hope you have an awesome day, and I'll see you on YouTube.